Today's video is sponsored by Squarespace. So welcome to the Dorothea Quarry. This is up in North Wales, and this is one of the more unique abandoned quarry sites up here. And it's one that's been on my list for quite a while now. And I was actually up in the area for the past couple of days doing some photography. Still have about 7 sheets of 4x5 loaded, bit of a mixed bag of film. And I was driving home and I was pretty close to here, and I thought, you know what, maybe I'll pop in, spend the afternoon exploring, finally see what this place is like. All right, so I'm about 10 minutes into my walk, and this place is already proving to be pretty amazing. It's like a maze with just buildings everywhere in the woods. Haven't even got to the quarry itself yet. But yeah, fascinating place. I think this closed back in the 70s, and it was one of the larger quarries in the area. And the quarry itself was flooded out so people could dive in it after it closed, and people are still doing technical diving to this day. So just a really, really interesting place, and obviously lots of stuff about. So I think this could be a good start. I'm gonna set up. So as always, gonna start with the 105. Probably be on this lens all day long. Okay, so right away I spotted this composition. You have this like original wall here with these pillars, and then I love this branch here of the tree. It kind of comes and curves over top, and then obviously the building there. I'm wondering what that was. I know there is an original church out here, but I don't think that's it. But what a cool building, you know, the arch over the doorway and the shape of the windows. So I'm gonna frame this up, portrait style, with the 105. Okay, so this is the composition I'm working with. Portrait orientation, love that tree branch. It's coming over top, how it sweeps kind of down on the other side of the frame. And then have a bit of that pillar there. And then yeah, just the building in the center. So gonna wait for the sun to go behind the clouds and then meet her and we'll shoot. I'm pretty happy with this. But what's nice here with this scene, with the light, is even when the sun goes behind the clouds and then we have some nice soft light, you have all of this kind of coverage here with the trees, which is throwing kind of this side of the frame into shadow here. And then you have this opening here, which is bringing in some directional light still. So there's this transition, and it brings some kind of shape to the frame, rather than, you know, if it were just all tree cover, it would be, you know, pretty flat and even. So this should work nice, as long as we get some clouds. So I'm gonna go ISO 320. And I'm gonna meter the kind of far wall there to the left of the frame, just below the window. It's giving me just under a second. And then I'll check here on this pillar, which is pretty dark, so that's saying 4 seconds, or just under 4 seconds, so about 2 stops under for that, which is fine. And even in the deepest shadows way back there, I'm getting about 3 stops under in the door frame. So yeah, I think I'll go 1 second. Let's see what this light's doing. Oh, it's so hard to tell. See some clouds over there. I think we might have some soon, but I don't think they're gonna last for long, so be ready. All right, so 30 minutes has passed. Just waiting, but I do think some clouds are coming, so I'm gonna get ready here. Take one more reading as soon as that's gone, because it is gonna get darker. Okay, 8 seconds. We'll use reciprocity timer. All right, and it's back. That I think is the only cloud we're gonna get. We'll see how that turns out. I'd say it was in cloud cover for about 2/3 of the exposure. So maybe we got lucky. Time to move though. I'd like to see some more of this place today, not just stand right here. Pretty incredible the stuff that's left around, like even this type of stuff, details. You know, here you have the original downspouts all covered in vines. Just wild. Okay, so got the quarry down here, had to stop for this view, and I don't know if I mentioned it already, but when the quarry closed, it was flooded intentionally. I'm not sure by who, but it wasn't approved by the landowner, and it was so people could dive in here. And this is, I think, goes to depths of over 100 meters, so very deep technical diving, and there was a string of deaths over like a 20-year period, and it only recently reopened, I think, like 2021 or something like that, but you have to be approved or be a member of a certain club. But apparently there's like buildings down there and cars and all sorts of stuff, so pretty unique place. All right, making progress. I'll tell you what, it is opening up and getting pretty wild. The views here, crazy. I'll see where this takes me. Just got up to the top and I'd show you around, but I'm trying to work quick because there is a ton of stuff up here and it's looking and feeling like it's gonna thunderstorm. So trying to get this set up right here before that happens, because yeah, this scene in particular, I absolutely love. You have the old cart here, you have the building, the pulleys in it, like the pulley house. It's amazing. So gonna get this all set up. We'll try and get this done before we get rained on and then do something else. But this location, certainly worth the trek. So back to the video in a second, just have to quickly talk about the sponsor today, which is Squarespace. So I've been using Squarespace for a number of years now, and what I love is how easy it is to build a clean, professional looking website for your photography that can grow with you. And to do this, you can use one of their pre-made templates, or you can use something like their blueprint builder, which allows you to build your site from scratch, but gives you really helpful tools like different page layouts, color palettes, and font pairings. It's also really easy to add, customize, and tweak your website. As an example, if I want to make a new gallery, I can simply click and drag to upload images and also to reorder them. But it's also great if you want to do more advanced things like, say, add an online shop. And at the start of this year, I decided to offer some limited prints for sale, and Squarespace made the entire process very streamlined, from setting up a shop page to payment processing and fulfillment. So check out squarespace.com today, sign up for a free trial, test it out, and when you're ready to launch, you can use my link below to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Okay, here's the view under the dark cloth. I don't know if you guys like this. I was trying to do it just to show you what I'm seeing, but yeah, really, really like this composition. It balances out nice and pretty happy with it. I used a little bit of front tilt just to help bring the cart into focus, so won't have to stop down as much for this one. But yeah, happy with that. Get rocking. So we'll go cable release, film, meter, metering the kind of green grass out there beyond the cart a bit, saying a 30th, closer to a 60th, and to double check I'll just use incident mode. And that's saying a 30th as well. So that's what we'll go with. .30th, shutter cocked. One done. So I'm actually going to shoot one more frame of this scene. I want to do one portrait orientation, so similar composition, but I've come over to the center a bit here. I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so this is the view right here under the dark cloth. Yeah, kind of center framing both things, but I like how this looks as well. I'm a little hesitant to stay this wide. Part of me thinks about going out to the 135, so this isn't as exaggerated, but I think I'll just stick with it, see how it is, and can always come back for another try. Okay, happy with that, and I'm gonna do same thing, just a little bit of front tilt I'm applying to help with the focus. Doesn't need much, and just the same exposure, stopped at f16. The sky's gotten a little brighter, so maybe I'll get lucky here, not get rained out. Cock the shutter. So I'll tell you what, this place is something else. As you walk around, there's just stuff everywhere. And one of the standout features is, I don't know if you can see it way up there in the distance, I believe that's called a blondin. And I don't think there's really any of those left anymore still standing. As you can see, there's one that's on the ground here now. That could be a very cool picture. Maybe go up and check that out. Okay, made it to the top here, almost back up at another village. So this is as far as I'm gonna go because just about out at a time. But I mean, what a sight that is. Pretty wild that that is still standing. There's one directly beside the camera here that's fallen over. There was another one there that was down. So to have this still up with all the cables and everything spanning out over the quarry is quite a sight, I'll tell you what. Who knows how much longer that'll be there for. So I'm gonna see if there's anything I can work here. I do like how it kind of silhouettes against the backdrop with the really bright sky. I think it's worth trying to photograph because it's a pretty amazing sight. All right, so I have the 105 on right now, and I'm gonna swap out and try the 135, just see what this is like. Compress the scene just a little bit more, because I don't really have anything in this immediate foreground other than just all these kind of like ferns and shrubs and stuff. I'm gonna go f22 for this one, ISO 320, and all that I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna meter these kind of sunlit ferns right in front of me. Those are saying a 60th of a second at f22. Brightest part of the sky is at 500th, so 3 stops over that. And then these really deep shadow areas down there are like a 15th of a second, which is, yeah, stop and a half. So I'm completely fine with that. I'll go a 60th. And I might even stop my aperture down a little bit more, maybe 22 and a third, just because that sky is quite bright. But yeah, we'll go with that. All right, back at square one to finish this off. I just hiked down, was gonna go to the car, but the light is exactly what I was hoping for when we got here earlier in the day. So I'm gonna shoot this, and I think this is gonna wrap it up. One last sheet of HP5. So overall, ended up with a total of 5 images from the day, and I'm actually quite happy with how they turned out. But there's 3 in particular that I wanted to talk about. Just want to jump back here in the office. I've made a couple prints and go over these. But I did just want to first say that this kind of day out was also an important reminder to me about, going to one place and immersing yourself and spending the time there. And it's something I'm trying to do more of, and it's one of the things I love about working with large format, because I have the tendency typically to try and go to as many places as possible over a day or two and shoot as much as possible. And of course, there's so much value in just like slowing down and going to one spot and really taking the time to kind of immerse yourself. So days out like this are, really, really starting to become some of my favorites, and I want to do more of them. But 3 images, like I said, I'm going to start with this one. This is probably my favorite image from the day, this portrait orientation of this scene. And I just absolutely love the fact that this old cart was still sitting there. It's something I haven't seen in any of these other quarries to this date. Usually these are like pushed down hills and all bent up, but also just kind of the openness and sparseness of the scene. It feels very unique to this landscape. Oftentimes it's the opposite, where you have all sorts of details and things to deal with. So I really like how this one turned out. Second image is this second to last one I made with this blonde in it. And it's not like the most loud or overly dramatic photograph, which obviously they don't all need to be. But I just really like the fact that this still exists. I think it's a very unique scene up in this area. This blondin still standing. Who knows how much longer it'll be like this, but just the fact that that's there in this kind of disused quarry and it's just sitting, you can see the quarry here. So really happy with this image as well. And then the last one is this last image, the second version of this that I photographed. This is actually a hotel. It's not a church or a chapel. I did some research after. And I'm going to see how this one grows on me, just because part of me really likes it, but then also part of me feels like I could go and probably do something better. It feels a little bit busy with kind of all of the elements, and you have all of the leaves here covering the top of the building. And I'd be curious to go back here on like a foggy or misty morning and just see if that helps simplify this a bit. But I mean, this is such a unique scene. It's worth a visit back. I mean, that whole area is for sure. There's so much more to see there and so much more to photograph. But yeah, just want to talk about those quickly. Overall, a fun day out. I'm glad I decided to go there last minute. And like I said, a place to return to in the future for sure. So anyways, that's going to wrap up this one. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you as always for watching, and I'll see you soon.